A very good evening to you all from wherever you're watching. My name is Frankie Fernandes. I'm based in Melbourne, Australia. It's very cold out over here, but my guest this evening is basking in sunny Glasgow in Scotland. Exactly about a week back, he rather shocked everyone announcing that the Goa Day performance was his final public performance, and there were nearly about 10 to 15,000 people out there who were left emotional when Remo announced that this was his last public performance. I have with me, joining from Glasgow in Scotland, Remo, welcome to you.
Thank you, Frankie. It's a pleasure being here and talking to you.
Well, it's always a pleasure, Remo, who I love to call as Rockstar Remo Fernandes. And mind you, this is the title I cannot share with any other Indian musician. Remo, as we always, or rather, I would have always called him as the Rockstar Remo Fernandes.
That's true.
Is for me the only Indian musician I have seen in my life who has performed live in almost all his public performances. And that is one feat I think he holds a record. Every performance till date in his last 6 decades, or rather over 6 decades, they have been live performances. It's a great thing, Remo. Let's start off with, after decades of performing around the world, what led you to this decision that this was the right time to step away from public performances?
Well, a few years ago, at the time of COVID, after my third COVID vaccine, I had a slight stroke, which affected the working of my fingers. So my playing the guitar and playing the flute became a little difficult. And so I felt that I wasn't giving 100% of myself, musically. And then last year I suffered from vertigo and I had a fall, and I hit my head rather. I had a nasty fall, and I was operated upon in my cranium. And so the combination of these two things led my doctor to tell me that I could not perform standing up anymore, that I should sit down and perform. Now, I love to prowl around the whole stage when I perform, as you must have seen. And sitting down and performing and my fingers not working like they used to, I didn't feel that I was able to give 100% of myself to my audience, And I felt that wasn't fair, neither on the audience nor on me. So I decided to call it a day. And I was, to tell you frankly, between you and me, I was a bit tired of performing anyway. So I've got these mixed feelings, about stopping. I know that I'm very happy to stop, and I know that there will be times when I'll miss performing live, but that's life.
Yes, but also, Remo, understand your music followers, your music lovers are never going to be tired of what you're leaving behind. Let's make that very clear.
I'm going to keep on recording. I'm going to keep on composing and recording in my home studio. And I'll be releasing those songs as and when. And except that I will not be performing them live anymore.
Yep. Okay.
But the music will not stop.
That's great to hear. That's really great to hear. Your music has become part of soundtracks of many Goan lives, right? How emotional was it to walk away of the stage, knowing it was your final public performance?
It was more emotional because the audience was superb on that day, really superb. I thought they would not accept me sitting down on a chair and performing, but they were fantastic from the word go. Chanting my name, asking for this song and that song, applauding like crazy. I really felt very, very emotional, because there was nothing but love in the air on that evening. It was a great farewell show. It was great as a farewell show. It was really very, very beautiful for me.
Well, I watched a couple of videos from that Goa Day celebration, and I can tell you something. I can watch those videos again and again and again. Not just your performance, but the love that was showered upon
Yeah,
you on that particular evening.
that's true.
Okay.
That's so true.
Now, looking back, which moment in your musical journey stands out as one of the most defining moments for you, whether it was in Goa, India, or internationally?
It's it's very difficult to answer that, frankly, because there have been so many moments like that. And one of the moments like that was when I won all those prizes in East Germany, and that's the first time that I'd entered a competition, an international competition, and to know that I won the prize for the first prize. Besides that, the prize for the loudest applause from the audience, and the press prize. The press prize, I believe, is the most difficult one to come across over there. And the press prize, that was a great feeling for the first time when I won that for my country. And I was coming back to India with all those prizes. And besides that, there have been so many instances. Uh, and there are too many to name and too many to remember right now. But yeah,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, like over 6 decades of public performances,
yeah,
and
yeah.
you would definitely have
Almost 7 decades actually, because I started when
seven
I was
decades.
five. Because I started when I
Yes,
was 5, and now I'm
yes,
73. If I and at 75, it would be another 2 years, and it would be 7 decades completed. But
exactly,
this is my seventh
exactly.
decade on stage. Actually, I first went up on stage when I was 5 years old.
Absolutely. Yep, 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 yep. Now, you often used your music to address social and environmental issues.
Yeah.
Do you think artists today are doing enough to use their platform to spark conversations beyond entertainment?
No longer any, not anymore, I'm afraid. That there was a time in the 60s and 70s, the Woodstock generation, let's call it,
Yes,
who who really addressed the socio-political issues through the music and created a whole revolution, not only in America but throughout the world. And nowadays, it's more everybody's looking for hit songs, rather than they're scared of rubbing someone the wrong way or whatever it is. And I don't know, the trend has changed. And
yes.
no, to answer your question, no, I don't think enough is being done through music and through the arts. There is the odd
Absolutely.
film. No,
Yeah,
there
go
is the
ahead.
odd film that addresses issues, but but not enough of them.
Yeah, and then to some extent, I think you really needed the guts to make your opinions public, right?
Yes, exactly. Needed the guts. And at the time of Bush, if I'm not mistaken, there were some people who sang against or criticized him, and he reacted immediately by asking all the television channels to drop them and the record companies to drop them. And so he scared everybody. All the artists were scared then. Whereas in the
Exactly.
60s and 70s, the government was caught unawares. They didn't know what to do with this whole movement, which we just started. By now, they had the blueprint, so they knew how to stop it.
Right, right, right. I do understand my next question. You answered it earlier. Although you've retired from live music, performance from public performances, does this mean that you are stepping away from music altogether, or can fans still expect new songs, recordings, or creative projects in the future? Also what I want to understand from you is, other than writing songs, okay, and recording, is there anything else that you would want to do? putting out videos?
Yeah, videos maybe
Okay.
of a few songs, but you know, I had a few projects which I wanted to complete during my lifetime, and I've completed both of them. There were two, in particular. One was a musical. Uh, uh, it was an opera on the life of Mother Teresa, and
Yeah.
I completed that during the COVID years. And the other one was in the writing of my autobiography, which I started a long time ago, which I also completed also during the COVID years. So, so both those big projects are already done and dusted, and so I have nothing left to do as such. You know, I mean, there's no program saying that it's just something that I feel that I should complete. Uh, during my
Okay.
lifetime, because I've done it. I've done it.
Yes. In fact, I've read your autobiography that you did, and I think I at times I can even read it twice or thrice, mind you. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you
Uh,
so much. Prudent.
and I remember the last time that we had an interview was when you released your autobiography.
Yes,
Okay, that was a
yes.
few
It
years back.
was. Yeah,
Now, you were a strong voice during the pandemic with your song, "When Will You Learn," right?
yeah. When we
When
will
will
learn,
you,
man.
man? Yes. Today, after the serious health challenges that you have said earlier were linked to COVID 19 vaccine, you yourself have been a victim to this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the question to you is, there's enough of controversy that's been going on. Should people not have taken the COVID vaccine? Okay. What's your reaction to that?
Well, all of us were shouting and screaming for vaccines for cures, and at the same time, we were criticizing the governments for not being fast enough. And then they were fast enough. Well, not fast enough for so many people who died of COVID. So,
Yes,
so either you die of COVID, or you suffer some side effects. But I don't think anybody died from the vaccines. But a lot of people whom I know have died from COVID itself. So and we asked for it to be done o- on a war footing. And when a medicine is put out there on a war footing, then obviously it doesn't get enough time to be tested and to be experienced. You know,
exactly.
so
And
so we can't blame anybody about that.
absolutely. And it so happened in such a short span of time, you had the vaccine out. Not many people are aware whether there were enough of trials that were conducted before
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
forced upon people, and that's across the globe. That's across
Yeah.
the globe, right? Yeah. Now, if you were to leave one message for your fans, for the next generation of gone musicians who grew up inspired by your work, what would it be?
Now it would be not to be too much in love with AI, not to be too much in love with AI, but to at least to write their own songs, to compose their own lyrics, and then maybe at the most they can take help from AI to do the backing music. The backing music is okay, but don't ask AI to compose for you, please. Leave that to be done by a human being, because music that's not made by a human being can be made by anybody. Anybody can make, can go to AI and make music nowadays. Within 5 minutes, you get a fantastic sounding song. Fantastic sounding, but it's not a fantastic song, because
Yeah,
AI does have its limitations of not being a human, of not having a heart and a soul. It can write beautiful lyrics, but you can make out immediately that it's AI.
exactly. But also, I'm a little bit worried, and I'm pretty sure you too would be worried about how AI especially youngsters are using AI uh, to produce their music.
Yeah. Well, that's what I just said.
Yeah.
That's what I just
Okay.
said. Don't ask AI to compose it for you. To compose neither the music nor the lyrics for you. Don't ask AI to do that. At the most, maybe the backing track, like I said, can be maybe could be
Yes,
done by AI.
absolutely. Uh, Over the last couple of years, personally have seen a lot of Goan musicians coming up with fantastic videos, like the one Seven Notes Band, the
Yeah.
song
I will
Dakota.
give the pata.
Eh,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
It's one of
Uh,
my favorite songs too.
oh, is it? Wow,
Oh
that's one.
yes.
And believe me, I think that is one track that has been going around for quite some time now
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
across the
I
globe.
announced
Yeah.
I announced that on that day in London that it was one of
Yes,
my favorite songs.
I did notice that. I did notice
Yes.
that.
Yes.
If at all young musicians had to do something much more, okay, what would that be?
That depends on each musician, Frankie. I cannot say what would that be to do more. To do more, it depends on each one.
Yeah,
Now, before the seven note, band composed uh, Abage Dukota, and if somebody had to ask you, what more can they do? Would you come up with Abage Dukota? No, no.
yeah,
But how would you know? How
mm,
would you know? It depends on
exactly.
the artist. It depends on the composers what they come up with.
Yeah, I think there are quite a few young musicians who've come up with some fantastic music, and uh,
Yes.
I'm for one who loves original music, and
Yeah.
that's probably one reason that I fall in love with your music, right? From Pack the Smack to Bombay City, these are all
Thank
your
you.
creations, okay?
Yeah.
Which you play anywhere, whether it's a wedding or any performances. People are instantly there to get onto the flow. Uh, and for me, like whenever these songs are played, like there are times when I'm at home early on Sunday morning, I tend to listen to your music because I think there's no one who's come so close to what you've already did for music, especially as a Goan and as an Indian.
Thank you. Thank you, Frankie.
Of the so many tracks that you've produced, you sung, okay, which has been the most difficult track for you?
The most difficult music that I've composed, it was difficult to compose it and difficult to record it, was music which I dedicated to my band who died in that tragic accident in the year 2000. My whole band died, my original band,
Yes.
the Microwave
Yeah.
Puppets. And after that, I was in a trauma, I was in a depression for months and months until I forced myself to go up to my recording studio and to compose some music for them and to record it. And it was so difficult, it was like a pain in my chest, a physical pain, because I had not touched a single musical instrument after the accident, because unfortunately music reminded me of them. And as it is, I was thinking of them the whole day and the whole night anyway. And so those are definitely the most difficult two pieces in which I composed. One was called The Empty Stage, and the second one was called A Fishbowl Called Life. And yeah, they're in an album of mine called India Beyond, which I've not released to the public actually. It's a very special album to me. Very special.
Any plans? Any plans to release it now that you're moving away from public performances?
If I yes, now no, I think now I will release it digitally everywhere.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine, 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 fine. Also in terms of as a live performer, okay, it takes special abilities, I would say, to do that act. Not many. I don't see anyone doing it except you. Okay. In that circumstances, how important did you feel that your other band members from the microwave puppetons contributed to that factor?
Everything, of course. I've got Mukesh, who plays the bass with the left on the keyboards, plays the
Yeah.
bass with the left hand and the keyboard, all the keyboard parts with the right hand. So I eliminated a bass guitarist. Our band is very, very compact. Now,
Yeah, I noticed that.
you're considering the fact that we play everything live, it's very, very compact indeed. There is, so there's Mukesh, as I said, who plays the keyboards and the bass boards. Then there is Santana Carvalho, who plays the drums. And there's Vishal Fatarpekar, who plays the Indian percussions. And me, I play both the guitars and the flute, and I sing. So that's it. Only four of us on stage, and yet we managed to do everything absolutely live. So there's no excuse for not doing, for not performing live. It's not like they're doing the sounds. Even the sound of a symphonic orchestra you can get on a synthesizer nowadays. So there's no
Yes.
reason. So there's no reason not to perform live. Nobody has that excuse anymore.
True, 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 true. Now, your last public performance that you did for the Goa Day, I I could never even imagine Remo sitting on the high chair
Yeah,
with the
you know
guitar.
me.
How
You know,
how difficult did you think it was for someone on a live for a live performance, ran up and down the stage, brought in all the energy. I'm pretty sure there's something that was going at the back of your mind when you were sitting on that high
sure, it
chair.
was. It was very much so. At the back of my mind, the first thing I was wondering about was whether the people would accept me after having seen me for decades, live on stage, moving all over the stage, whether they would accept me. And they were, like I said right in the beginning, the audience was superb and so receptive and so understanding. It was fantastic performing for them. It was a great audience, and
And I can,
there are some other physical restrictions as well when you're sitting down and performing. Your lungs are constricted.
yeah,
So for singing, it's not the best position. The best of positions to be sitting down and crouching over your guitar, especially. You can't open up your voice like you can when you're standing up. So it had a lot of other drawbacks as well besides the audience. Uh, Besides a possible bad reaction from the audience, which luckily wasn't there. There are these other physical restrictions as well that were involved.
all that I could say was after watching some of the videos, the 10 to 15,000 crowd that gathered at the venue that day. I don't see anyone moved from their seats, from their positions till your last track that you sang, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's true. That's true.
Okay.
It was a
But
wonderful audience, really. I was so lucky to have a fabulous audience for my last show. Really, that will be it's a memorable show for me.
well, a fitting tribute to the rock star of live music once again, Remo Fernandes.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much. Thank you very much. God
Thank you.
bless you, and we'll
Thank you.
we'll always keep you in our prayers. And looking forward for some more music from you. That's going to be groovy. That's going to be catchy. That's going to be out of the blues.
Thank you, Frankie. Thank you very much indeed. Bye.
No, I. Well, that was Remo Fernandez speaking to us. Probably this was his first interview to anyone after he announced that he would no longer be doing public performances after the Goa Day event in UK last Saturday. It was really an honor to have him with us. He took time to speak to us from Glasgow. It's bright and sunny out there. Once again, a big thank you to you, Remo Fernandez, the rock star, the original rock star. India has ever produced. God bless you.